Hey everyone. Can you guys hear me? Huh? Um, I am doing my podcast on this so-called Labor Day in the United States. Labor Day night. Um, I'm in Islamabad, obviously, my second home, with my wife, and we just came back from an amazing trip to what I call the Alpines of Pakistan. You know, the Swiss Alps and the Austrian Alps. Uh, this place was fucking amazing. Like, oh my God. Like, we drove up to like 8,000 feet and it's like mesmerizing. Like, clouds are right there. Like, clouds are like kissing you and hugging you, you know? And I, I was there actually a couple of years ago when I got married, you know, and me and my wife kind of went there for like a night, one night, like a fucking, or like a honeymoon, right? But this time we went there for 2 nights, and it was like we went on this like day trip, right? Yesterday for like 5 hours, and then we actually rented a car with a driver from the hotel, per Continental Hotel, and obviously, that's one of those posh in Pakistan, one of those posh like fucking hotels, great service, expensive, obviously from the currency. Um, that's rupees here, right? Nobody can afford it except like if you have uh, at least 30,000 rupees to spend for a room per night. All right. Okay, I'm not going to turn my podcast into like a travelogue. All right. But the hotel was nice, and the service was amazing, and we had actually one of the managers who actually comes from same area that we come from, and it's like oh, the brother of this fucking place in the mountains of northern Pakistan, right? Oh, we are closer than anybody else, right? And then obviously the guy was so nice, he gave us like such like warm welcome and all the discounts and through his whatever, right? And I would say that the trip yesterday was amazing, fucking amazing, and except I would say except what is the drawback to this trip? Well, the drawback to this trip is that my own thoughts, and I think my wife actually was saying the same things that were going through my head. It's like this place is like so fucking beautiful with all these like pine trees and like fucking 8,000 feet, like, and everything, right? And it's like the fucking Switzerland of Pakistan, And we were driving actually yesterday, and then we were basically like driving through the top of the fucking hills, like, not, they're not hills, obviously, they're mountains, when you're above 5,000 feet, obviously they're not hills. And I'm thinking, obviously we're comparing like Switzerland, right, to this place, like, kind of like northeast of like Islamabad, right? And this is one of the fucking most beautiful, one of the most fucking beautiful landscapes. 8,000 feet, pine trees and like fucking Switzerland. And and then you look at the infrastructure and the roads, and I mean, the roads are kind of okay. But then obviously the locals don't have a lot of leverage, in a sense that it's a poor area. It's still a poor area. It's not like, fucking Swiss, fucking, like touristic. You have the fucking six kinds of like railroads. They go up to fucking 9,000 feet of fucking snowy mountains. And then you have trams and fucking, cable cars and this and that. It's not like that. Because obviously, who wants to invest here? It's a poor country. But it's beautiful. It's fucking amazing, beautiful. So we had that day trip yesterday. It was, I mean, we enjoyed it. At the same time, we are still going through this, this trial and error, with my wife's visas and this and that. And hey, we got at least one visa to go to Cyprus. I think we're going to go to Cyprus. And then, if she wants to stay there, she can stay there. But from there, obviously, I have to go back to my ship. My ship is my job. I've been working. On blueprints, drawing board, and my fucking proposals. Work never ends, as you know. Work never ends. So the bills means the bills also never stop coming, right? So there you go. I am in the midst of a lot of things, to be honest with you, because obviously this is the best time for me to be with my wife, and I'm trying to enjoy every moment that I spend with her, because the whole fucking immigration bullshit it's like a fucking, a long queue of people who want to bring their loved ones through legal means. And that's the fucking irony of any fucking politician, anybody who wants to get elected in America. Hear me out. If I want to bring my wife to where I am, or my home is, or her home is, and you're going to tell me it takes 3 years, I'm going to say, fuck that. Why did you say that in the first place, before you got married? Well, my fucking lawyer gave me the wrong fucking information. And that's the fucking truth. All right? But I don't want to sound too cynical, and I just want to stay positive, because after all, I'm here with my wife, and whatever time we spend, I mean, this is like, dude, if I go back to my own den, whatever den I have in Jersey City, all right, that's my den, right? Eventually, it's going to be my den and her den, all right? But for now, it's my fucking den. I'm going to go back there and I'm going to reminisce. And I'm going to tell myself, oh, another fucking 8 months for her to come home? Home? If you know or if you don't know, if you ever been in a relationship with someone on a serious level where you're married and you love her, she loves you, but you can't be with her, she can't be with you because of fucking immigration bullshit, it's a tough one to bite. It's like you had a bite on a fucking silver dollar. Not even silver fucking dollar. Titanium. So, without renting, obviously I have to rent, right? And yeah, I made the fucking mistake too, Yeah, I had a fucking 1 hour Zoom call with my fucking lawyer. And I just basically relied on her. 100%. I said, hey, she's a fucking professional. So who the fuck am I? I mean, I don't have fucking time. Am I going to talk to another lawyer? Should I talk to... Get the point, right? Because if somebody comes to me I'm a professional. Somebody comes to me, they need help with what are their buildings that they need to know to whatever the fuck they need to do. Get the permits, whatever the fuck they need to do, right? I'm not going to give them half-ass fucking information. All right? So that's what I feel like at this point in time. But it's like, what am I going to do? Exhume dead bodies from the fucking graves? I don't know. But at this point in time, I think I just have to be patient. Patient. And, whatever listeners I have on this podcast, I appreciate that, you give me all your love and through some other dimension, other realm. I feel it, You feel my pain? And I just got to learn how to just be in the moment and just hey man, things will be all right. See, that's okay. Things will be all right is a extremely generalized notion of being too optimistic. Things will be all right. Yeah, well, that's we all hope for, right? Hope is the thread of what life. See, yeah, I hope for the best, but I try to, build some bridges behind me, some ladders, something besides hoping for the best. See that? So, what are those bridges, sir? Are you building? I have no fucking idea because this. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. You know. But then, you know, things turn in many ways in this fucking life. You know, unexpected things. And some people, some people, including myself, you know, because I'm obviously I'm worked up all the time. I'm angry, you know, at this fucking world to a point, at some imaginary subconscious rounds of my own existence. You know, I say to myself, why the fuck am I here? Why? The why point is actually step or stage 4. Stage 1 is, how did I get here? Right? How the fuck did I get here? To this fucking world. Right? And then the second stage of the question is, did I want to be here? Am I happy? Coupled with the second question, right? It's the third one. Am I happy here? If I'm here, first of all, am I happy here? To some extent, to some degree, with some satisfaction, right? And all those things, right? All those things lead to this human sort of not to say it like unbiased, unchecked. What's the other term I want to use? The unknown. The unknown of this human quest is what I have become part of. Why? Why? So I was brought here. I was brought into this fucking existence, right? Second, okay, so was I ever happy in this fucking world? Was I ever satisfied in this fucking world? To some degree in happiness, right? And so, the stage 3 and 4 are mute if I'm not there at stage 2. So then the whole point of existence becomes what? Struggle. to satisfy stage 1 and stage 2. Stage 1 is gone, sir. Stage 2. Are you happy with your life to an extent, to a degree of satisfaction? Right? So, well, I'm not looking for buying a yacht like Jeff Bezos or what the fuck these guys do, right? I think I'm more in the school of thought of people like Elon Musk. You know, I'm not fucking Jeff Bezos, but Jeff Bezos is like fucking Costco times 10, right? He's gonna fucking sell shit on Amazon. He's gonna make fucking tons of fucking money. And then he's gonna divorce his fucking wife, right? Give her 20%. I'm not even talking about that, sir. Ma'am, I'm talking about stage 2, which is am I happy to some extent? Like, I don't know. Am I? Assume I'm not. Then what am I going to do? Surpass stage 2 and go to fucking stage 3. Or am I being too ambiguous? The existential questions of life for me are these 3 stage questions. All right. I think stage 2 is the most difficult. All right. That's where you feel like life is a fucking struggle. As soon as you're born on this fucking planet is a struggle. It's a agony. It's an agony. It's a struggle. By default. All right? By default. I'm not bashing fucking Jeff Bezos. I understand, he started with like a fucking book, well, like he was making books. Not that he was making books, but I'm saying that he was trying to sell books to people online. Right? That's how Amazon started, right? I think when I say that I'm more of in the school of thought of Elon Musk than Jeff Bezos, if I have $100 billion under my fucking belt, all right, do you think I would go on a fucking yacht with some hot or not hot woman like Jeff Bezos? She's not even fucking hot, dude. This guy was going on a date with some fucking chick on his $100 million yacht. All right? Or would I be more like Elon Musk? Yeah, listen, I bought fucking Twitter for $44 billion. Just to say, hey, free speech, for fuck's sake. Okay? I didn't buy this to make money. I didn't buy this to fucking impress anyone. Free speech. And I think to an extent, as much as the mistakes I have made in my fucking life, I'm still here. Hey, I'm still here. Okay? I'm still here. All I'm trying to learn is at the stage 2 is because I always blame this fucking world. I always do. You know why? The reason why I do that is, to an extent, yes, this fucking world is psychotic. We live in a psychotic world. Think about it. We live in a psychotic world in a sense that hey, I'm not asking for you to give me a ticket to fucking beach house on a property in heaven. I'm not asking for that. All I'm asking is that I want to be with my beloved. This has been a struggle for me and my wife. And if you don't know if it's real or not, or I'm joking, hey man. Just because she's 3,000 miles away, 4,000 miles away. Now, if she were at the southern fucking border, she could walk into the United States. All right? So, if you're telling me that I'm trying to bring my wife to the United States legally, and this fucking bullshit called the immigration system is so corrupt, antiquated, slow as fuck, then I'm sorry. We need to fucking overhaul this whole fucking system. You know how long it takes for an Indian, a legal Indian citizen who wants to come to the United States, wants to get a green card through work? You know how long that fucking takes? I have close friends. 15 fucking years. You think if I had to wait for a green card for 15 years, do you think I would be in that fucking line for 15 years just to get my fucking green card? No, sir. I would say, fuck you all. Hey, but these Indians, they have a lot of fucking patience. All right, I'm sorry. I don't mean to turn my podcast into. I guess I did. Bashing on the immigration system, but I guess I did. But let's stay positive. You know that word positive just slipped through my fingers. I said that. It just slipped through my fucking fingers. Like what? It slipped through my fingers just like Excelsior. You know Excelsior, the potion of life. The potion of life to live forever. It just slipped through my fucking fingers. You know that positiveness. Who wanted to live in this fucking world forever? Was that the Alexander or the Kaiser? Alexander was trying to find that potion. Right? To live in this world forever, or this life forever. Do I want to live this fucking life forever? No. In this realm, in this fucking setup of a fucking planet, a rock that revolves around another fucking rock with spews lava. It's ready to kill us. It does kill us every second, every minute. Just like Mars. But we got the magnetosphere. So sun's flares don't affect us because of our iron ore. Where the fuck am I going with this whole fucking conversation? Anyways, I don't fucking idea. I'm just babbling. I'm sorry. Getting back to the point, we had a great time. I think my wife, she's here actually. She's like on the phone. It's like, can you actually live without your phone for a day? Can you? This is a question for you, princess. Can you live without your phone for like 2 days? No, you can't. Bullshit. She can live without me for 2 days. Not without her phone. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, when people talk about something like, and I'll get to an example before I get to this fucking whole thing, because I think I've talked about this whole thing many times on my podcast. And the problem, I think, nowadays, just to like explain this whole thing where we are now. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Like I can't when I get up in the morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, right? What's the first thing that comes to my fucking mind? Not God. Not the fucking sun. Not my mom. Or my dad or my wife. Even though she's sleeping beside me. You know what's the fucking first thing comes to my mind? My fucking phone. And if you don't feel the same way I do, you're deluding yourself. Right? I'm not saying you're better, you're worse than me. Right? But we are all together in this one. Right? No. We're fucking dependent on these fucking gadgets so much. Why? What was our life before these fucking things? Oh, we had that fucking dial phone in the 1980s. I remember. My father fucking bought that fucking 12-inch fucking black and white TV, and that fucking telephone came to our house, right? That dial phone, remember? Oh, hello. But we were not dependent on that fucking thing. We were not. Somebody call us, and we would call them whenever needed, as required, as per the occasion. We didn't have any fucking Instagram. We didn't have any fucking Facebook. We didn't have any fucking YouTube. So what happened was, I think the Silicon Valley fucking mafia took over. At the end of the, actually, at the turn of the last century, I would say. Some shit happened. Military started this whole fucking thing called internet. And I'll try to explain in a layman term what happened to this fucking world. Well, before that, before the fucking internet, I think it was all like Nixon. Remember when Nixon was like indicted and was thrown out of the fucking office? 74, what was that, 74? Right after I was born. And then the fucking Iranians, remember the whole fucking, the oil deal, and, there was no oil, there was no fucking fuel, and it was like, holy shit. And then what happened was, I think, it was still Cold War with fucking Russia, remember? And Reagan came. Reagan became the fucking president. Remember the fucking Hollywood fucking star, what the fuck it was, right? Back then, he was like... And then Reagan becomes the president. Reagan. What the fuck his name is, dude? I don't give a fuck. So there was still Cold War. So everything was like halted to a point of like, oh, hold on a second. Americans went to fucking moon in 1969. Was that when the third, fourth, fifth Apollo mission? Right? We went to fucking moon. We stepped on fucking that fucking rock moon, right? And then what happens? And then everything becomes succinct. Radio silence for the next 30, 40, 50 years, even to this day. Why? I'll tell you why. Because of the Cold War. We were afraid because the Sputnik went to the fucking space first. And so we were afraid, even though we stepped on the fucking moon, and then we were afraid that if we stepped on the moon and tried to set up a base there, what the fuck the Russians going to do? Right? It was all fucking fear-mongering, the whole fucking. And then in the middle of this whole thing, by the time Reagan was elected, what the fuck his name is, right? And by that time, it was already mid-80s, right? And the CIA, or the fuck, they were trying to come up with some fucking communication system, globalized, for them to actually talk to their military bases in fucking Germany, Eastern Germany, fucking whatever the fuck that sees in Japan off the fucking South Korea, right? So they wanted to have some global communication system. That's how internet was fucking invented. Did you know that? So by that time, military invents fucking internet. Then what happens? Oh, wait a minute. There's no action on the fucking moon side, so we can't go to the fucking moon because we're too afraid that Russians are already there and they're going to blow up the whole fucking planet or some shit because they were Russian, like, fucking satellites were revolving around Earth with fucking nuclear weapons, apparently, which was a fucking hoax to begin with, I think. And we're too afraid to go anywhere and just fucking set up a base on the fucking moon, right? So NASA became like this mutant without a fucking dick. Cut off dick. That's what I call them. Back in the days, 80s. So that's what happened with fucking NASA. We couldn't set up a base on the fucking moon. There's no excitement in the whole fucking world after we went to space. We set up a fucking, a plan, actually. I think there's got to be a fucking plan to set up a base on the fucking moon, right? But then what? There was fucking Cold War was going on. Still. And the CIA and the fucking Pentagon. What the fuck these fucking organizations? They invented fucking internet in the middle of the fucking Cold War for their communication systems through satellites. All right? So then what happens? Oh, then it leaks into the world, spills into the world, and then comes fucking 1989, Berlin Wall falls off. You should watch that fucking movie with Charlie Theron. How Berlin Wall came off, it's like, oh my God, dude. Doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter, okay? I'm just giving you some perspective of where we are now based on recent past events. So, fucking Berlin Wall comes off, right? It's fucking, so East and West are united, all this hoopla, fucking jubilation and all this bullshit in Germany, right? All right? Meanwhile, nobody's excited because nothing is happening here, sir. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got computers now. IBM has these machines where you can do like calculations and spreadsheets and bullshit, right? You can print them. You can print the memos. You don't need a typewriter anymore. And guess what? Those machines now can be connected to other fucking machines through this military software called the fucking internet, which was being used by the fucking United States military. In any case, so the excitement comes to the whole fucking mainstream called the internet in the 90s. So then what happens? That's it. That's it. That's it. It just opens a whole fucking new world. There's no need to even think about going to moon or flying cars or any of that like convenient sort of like first principle living on this earth in a more efficient way. No. And then the internet, the fucking porn, you name it. And then Netflix. And then all this other shit. That Netflix is just a fucking video store where you can rent movies from. My cousin had one in the fucking mountains. Or I would go to up there and just fucking rent a movie. Hey, Netflix is like that. Except Netflix is fucking retarded. Like, at least I could go to my cousin's shop and I could just rent, like, the newest fucking movies, right? The newest fucking movies would just come on the fucking market, like 2 days ago. Netflix? No, it's a fucking retarded video store. Netflix is a retarded fucking video store. Hey, we're stuck with it. And that the in-between are the whole fucking Facebook and the YouTube and the fucking Instagram and this and that. All these are just like the phenomenon of where the humans we feel Murray Brewery is one of the fucking best brews, local brews. The British setup. So the internet basically somehow made us into this whole world of like computer based, you can buy everything from Amazon, you can do this and you can watch movies and everything. But how about the world outside the fucking internet? And that world outside internet got diminished. Starting from the late 90s up until like early like 2000s until now. Even now, like what's your like I'm not saying like your as in like your life outside. I'm not saying that you live in this fucking bubble of Instagram and Facebook and and so what's the bigger like consequence of this whole thing? The bigger consequence of this whole thing is that we have been actually like pulled into this fucking black hole of fucking internet, first of all, which was supposedly just a tool for the military for their communication. And then it became a whole fucking global phenomenon. And my wife doesn't agree with me. I understand that. Maybe she does. I don't know what she's doing. Oh, she's eating something. What should I say? Oh my God. She has a real tooth. Sweet tooth. I mean, of course she has a real tooth, but it has the sweetness. Oh my god, no. I'm not doing it. No, it's too much sweet. No, sorry.
Come on, Shubin.
All right. Okay, so this is one of these ice creams here in Pakistan, I remember. And it has a lot of pistachios. It's good. Oh my god. Like, it's like skull and clear my thought. Clear my thoughts or clear the throat, sir. Throat and thoughts, both. But I think I kind of like in a layman term explain what happened to the human civilization on this fucking planet. Um, I'm not even going into like anything beyond this fucking planet because the problem is when you are trying to create a world, a virtual world within 30 years, 40 years, let's say 35 years by now, right? In the realms of some sort of a communication system, you're building upon it, and you're basically trying to build somebody's life, a physical life in a virtual world where it's like you're trying to present yourself in a virtual world, which, first of all, you shouldn't. Okay? You don't have to exist in that fucking virtual world. Because you're not a software, you're not a fucking robot, you're not a creation of this internet. See, what I'm trying to say to you is that, to myself, that sometimes, I mean, forget what I said about the fucking phones. There are people who live inside these fucking softwares, in these fucking phones. And they dwell in there. That's their fucking life. While they have a brain, they have a body. They have 5 senses, they can see. And that's the sad part. That's fucking sad fucking truth. And the sad fucking truth is that those fucking ROMs have been generated by the fucking Silicon Valley fucking mafia, including Zuckerberg. Did you hear what the fuck he said about how the US administration was trying to censor him? They were actually told him not to post this, not to post that, including about fucking, okay, you gonna fucking censor my fucking YouTube video? Do it. This is how fucking, like, listen, I do this because I'm trying to have a self-reflection on my own life. And then at the greater good, I'm trying to convey something that, as I understand about this fucking world, is where we are. Okay? I don't have a fucking agenda. I don't want to have a fucking agenda. because I know the guy who lives under that fucking bridge, he has the same fucking brain that I do. And the guy who lives in a fucking palace above 7 skies above, he has the same fucking brain. All right? So, all I'm trying to say is that something has been lost in translation. And that translation, what has been lost in translation, has, is, and is going to have a devastating effect on humanity, to be honest with you, like extinction. I'm talking about extinction. I'm not talking about nuclear war. Extinction. Extinction because of the internet. I'm not trying to take down the internet. All right? Who am I? I mean, come on. If internet goes down, oh, my life's done. All right? But internet has a lot of play right now. Where we are right now in this fucking world. It has a lot of play. Because it influences our world, our personal world, which is not the fucking internet. Remember, you're still fucking human with these limbs, with the brain, which nobody can fucking mimic, recreate in any fucking lab, in any fucking internet, any fucking Silicon Valley mafia bullshit. So, if you're going to tell me I mean, if you're going to tell me that, oh, my life is also internet, sorry, your life is also internet, by the way, you think you're above and beyond internet? Hey, let me rewrite what was written in all those fucking old books for you, for this time of existence on this fucking planet. All right? What's that, sir? That is, you have to understand one thing, is that remember, I think this would be my first sentence if I have to write something, with a pen and paper. I would say my first line in here would be, I was born flesh and blood. I was born with life. I gotta know where it started. I'm not a software. I'm not a machine. As in Silicon Valley Mafia wants to make me look like. They want you to act like a fucking machine to fit yourself to their fucking standards of fuck it is right face. Fuck you. Fuck you. I like my brew and I'm a fucking human being. I'm not a robot. So, I'm not gonna fucking live in that fucking internet bubble of fucking Facebook of liking and not liking and fucking if somebody hits my fucking post or somebody like thumbs up or fucking thumbs down, that's not my fucking life. No. I'm flesh and blood. Flesh and blood, sir, or flesh and blood. Get the point. I'm flesh and blood, sir. I'm flesh and blood. I am good with my own primal instincts and instincts of interacting with other people. Not in fucking Facebook. Not in fucking Instagram of posting my fucking pictures and showing everyone where I am and, boasting and fucking bullshitting. No. That's not who I am. I'm just a human being. That's not my fucking world. Okay? I'm not trying to impress you. I don't want you to impress me either. Okay? I'm happy for you where the fuck you are. When you post all this fucking picture on fucking Instagram, I'm not on fucking Instagram, dude. But I see this. And this is where we are now with the fucking internet. Out of a military installation, now we are. That's exactly why we don't have a base on the fucking moon, because we got addicted to the fucking internet. It's side dishes called the fucking, what are the fucking social media and all this fucking bullshit. And at the end, I have to say one thing, which I have to say. That sort of personal. I don't know if I should talk about this, but basing the internet where we are, I can tell you, and I can tell you even more. But I think, you know what happens to us at the seas of existence? At the seas of existence, nobody knows what happens after. That's the fucking way out. All I can say is that, you know, when you die young, that's a tough one on many levels. And without going to fucking too many fucking details, one of my close ones passed. May his soul rest in eternal peace. That's even a heavy word for me to say. Because I had no idea what that means. Nobody knows. And so, with that note, I'm going to close my podcast. I'm sorry. I'm all over the fucking place. And I'll see you all next Monday week.